Very interesting piece of history in my views. I was just walking down one night on St James's Street in London when I was studying, and I saw James J. Fox, and there was an insignia which said the Royal Cigar Merchants. So I was like, what is royal about that? So I went inside, I saw cigars, and then I saw a sign saying Churchill's Museum and downstairs. I was like, oh, let's just visit it. Went down and I saw that piece of history which was down there with all of Churchill's accessories used and all the accessories used by the previous kings and the monarch and the British history. Saw that, very much influenced by that, and then came up and I just went into the humidor and I started looking, and the guy in a couple of minutes realized that he doesn't know anything about cigars. So he came to me, have you had a cigar before? I was like, no, I've not. And then he said, would you like to have one? And I said, yes. So we started looking for a cigar, and after a while, he suggested a few things and this and that, and after a while, it was Monte Cristo number 3, which was chosen for me. And he said, shall I light it for you? And I was like, yes. So he cut it for me, he lighted it for me, and then he gave it to me, and then once it was lit, I went upstairs to the sampling lounge, and that was where I had my first cigar, sitting next to the window looking out at St. James's Street. So I think that is where it all started. Initially it was, probably one cigar a month, one cigar every 2 months, because when you're a student you don't really have that much money. Slowly and gradually it came to when I started my job and all that stuff back in, I would say 2012-13, to one cigar a month, and then probably one cigar every 2 weeks. And I think in the last 6-7 years it came to 1 to 2 cigars a week. But the real thing which kicked off was COVID, because you had a lot of time and all of that, and that's when I went to almost 1 a day, which is now kind of converted to 1.5 to 2 cigars on an average a day. So that's what I'll say in terms of how this all started. Yeah, okay, so I have always been one of those people who are very much into reading and theory and knowing what the whole concept of the things is. And that is what it was. I mean, I would buy anything and I would always look at the manual of the thing. So while I was smoking and things progressed over the time, so that's when I started to search for if there is something formal which can tell me, which can teach me, and I can actually look for more. And the titles of Masters of Habanos and the Habanos Certified Expert is something which kind of attracted me towards those, and I was like, okay, I started to learn more about it. And then finally I got to know that because of COVID, the first time Habanos started this online course last year, and that was the first batch, and now it is the second batch which has happened this year, and I've just finished the course. So I've taken my exam, just waiting for my result to come, and hopefully I should be the first and so far probably the only resident Pakistani Habanos certified expert. I'd say it has gone a bit sophisticated and more in terms of I'd say more towards a refined palate and picking up the notes and picking up the flavors and the aromas, and the best discovery in this course for me was practically learning how it's more to do with our sense of smell and the brain, which tells you what is the flavor or the aroma coming out of the cigar, as compared to just what we thought is it our taste buds which influence more. So it's that, and then I think the theoretical part of it and the etiquette of cigar smoking and the whole camaraderie it brings out is something which I really like, and is something which is very close to my heart. Hence, I would say this is what it is about. Oh, that actually I would say the blame goes to you because I'll say I was collecting cigars. I would age them. There were few which were my always go-to, and when COVID started and you came up and you called me on the PCA thing the first time, that is when I was like, oh, why not try some other cigars and all of that. So started with that, and all of us the packs and which started to come out. But then slowly and gradually, when I would see that, oh, you've gotten some new cigars out, so that's when I really started to look for what are the new cigars and what is it available in the market and all of that. And that's in the last 1 year I've started to try and source the newest launches and all of that, and that's exactly what this is. I mean, the Linea de Oro of Romeo and Julieta, I mean, this was launched probably last year and officially is not available in Pakistan yet, and we've kind of sourced slowly and gradually, and I think I'm the first one who was able to get his hands on these Noblesse. So we had a few, I mean, I got the Hidalgos first, this one. So that's when I've started to enjoy experiencing new cigars, enjoying new cigars, and sourcing them from different parts of the world, and I'm always looking out what is coming up, what is new and all that stuff. And I think it is that fun and the joy of finding those which is keeping me going, and I'm enjoying that in addition to enjoying my cigars. Very, very interesting. I would say I would ideally like to find probably the first 5 years of limited editions, because I mean, because from the first release I have almost any and every limited edition from 2015 up till now, and a few in the middles also. But I would say I would really like to have a few of the first 5 years of limited editions, and also probably I'd say what you call as the diplomatic gifts. So something of that side which is very unique, more of a collector's item, and maybe the Cuban Davidoffs or the Cuban Dunhills from that perspective. Yeah, in terms of the overrated cigars, I would say since now that I've smoked a lot of Cubans and non-Cubans, to me, I feel in Cubans, I really did not like a lot of the Monte Cristo 1935s, except for probably Dumas. I did not like the Maltes or the Lineadas, or I would also say the most overrated in my, well, even more than that, were the Añejado series. So other than the Romeo and Juliet Añejado, I have not been able to find anything really different or unique in any of the other Añejados. So they to me are overrated, considering the price point and considering all the hype about it. Yes, we've been informed that the Trinidad Añejados, the Fundadores, is going to be released this year. So let's see what that brings. But for now, I would say that is what is to me a slightly overrated cigar. My all-time favorite was, is, and has always been something which is, I would say, a thinner ringage. I am a big fan of thinner ringage, and I would very honestly say it. I am yet to find anyone but Habanos or the Cuban cigars with a thinner ringage, because they know how to make it and they make it the best. So in thinner ringages, I would say the Trinidad Fundadores, the Lanceros, they've always been great. But what is my absolute best? I would say the Secretos Maduro 5 Cohiba. That is to me an all-time favorite. I've never gone wrong with that. I would say social media has influenced it big time in terms of the not so called marketing, yet it does its own thing. The movies and the media and now the social media is influencing it big time, hence you see a lot of shift even in Habanos from the thinner ringages to the thicker ringages and all of that, and looking at those fat cigars just because English and Indian the Hollywood movies show it and all that stuff. But I would say in terms of bringing cigar smokers, it has helped a lot because it has built that brotherhood of the leaf, or as we call it, the camaraderie amongst people, which brings it too much. And I would say the recent it is just social media, as a result of which I was picked up as the only, I would say, non-Western ambassador of the newly launched website of Cigar Keep, which was launched primarily from the UK. And I think social media has a lot to do with it. Also, it is somewhere where we share our passion, where we connect to each other, we actually talk to each other, we meet each other, and that is where what helps us track down what is coming new, keep up with the trend, and also enjoy newer cigars. And I would say, as of now, if you ask me a moment I would really like to always remember in my cigar smoking journey, I mean, since there have not been many, but I would say Cohiba 55, the event was one of the most memorable ones so far. I just got to know about it, again, social media, and then I just decided that I'm gonna attend it. I went for it, and I would say a really memorable experience. Met a lot of people and brought or put names to faces when I was there, because there were a lot of people I knew on social media. I had met them but never interacted with them, but never met them. So this time it was like meeting them in person and really enjoying that whole experience. So I would say it was one of the memorable ones so far. As a cigar smoker, not really happy, and I think that's the sentiment across the world, especially when it comes to the Cuban cigars. Having said that, there's a misconception which people are not really understanding, and that is that the prices have gone up for Cohibas, the prices have gone up for Trinidads, and two of the special lines, which is this Linea de Oro from Romeo and Juliet and the Monte Cristo's 1935. For everything else, it's just a basic inflation, 5-7%, 10% raise, which I'm sure as cigar smokers or as anyone who's a consumer knows that things go up and all of that. So I think considering my so far kind of collection, I am sorted for at least a year or so. By the time I think I'll be mentally prepared and ready to pay the upper premium prices for those, and then I'll see. For the newer cigar smokers and slightly younger in age one as to us, I would say it's a whole journey, it's an experience, it's your me time, and something which is, at least to me, very peaceful and enjoyable time of mine. So I think enjoy it like this rather than making it as an addiction, because it is not. And that's the first, as a, I would say, slightly refined smoker now, a piece of advice or just a word of caution, because in any case I would not be saying that it's absolute must or you should do it. But when it comes to them, enjoy the process, take it slow, slowly and gradually look at what you like, what you don't like, see what's your palate enjoying the most, and also I would say try a lot of cigars if you can, because sometimes what I've seen is and happened is that somebody likes one cigar, they would just smoke it for the rest of their life until somebody really pushes them, and for them that's the best. So I think there is a whole world out there, and just as long as you're enjoying the cigar, you should be happy about it. So go out and explore more about that. I'll also say, Omar, that see, in terms of the Pakistani cigar scene and the Pakistani cigar culture, we are relatively very young in terms of that, in terms of the community we have in Pakistan. And I think you and the Pakistan Cigar Aficionado, as well as the slightly older Facebook page where a lot of friends at Cigar Lounge 1947 have really made the mark, and collectively have done a lot of work in terms of bringing the cigar community together. So I think that is again the power of social media, as well as some passionate smokers trying to bring the whole community together. So that is booming, that is coming up, and I see a lot of new things coming up very soon. The community gatherings and the herbs and all of this culture building up. So if we kept on this momentum and things continued, I think in 3-4 years, 5 years, Pakistan will also be acknowledged big time in the countries which have a big cigar scene and a big cigar culture. And I think the newer initiatives being taken by Cigar Lounge and PCA and a few other friends in the cigar world in Pakistan are going to really give it a boost very soon. I'm yet not spilling the beans, but since I'm privy to a few of the interesting developments, so I'll keep it like that for now, and ask everyone else to stay put and see what's in store, and do stay tuned. He is one of the most indisputed personality. And any given day I get the opportunity now, I would, even if it means I have to fly in specifically, I will fly into the UK and go and have a smoking session or a few moments with the Sahakian from that perspective. So there is no better person, I would say, I would want to enjoy it, because for me that will not only be a memory but an honor to have his company. So yes, Mr. Edward Sahakian would be one of the only persons I would immediately want to go and have a cigar memory with.